Ulonga tabati yada to ye kuma daifa. Ino to ye ko je love bipa. Oba tala, oba takutakun. Zongo eshu, ogun oya osun. Kini sheshe, tan she nile yo. O jelo jara.
Lafayette, peace and power, family. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I'm your host, Orisha Gbemi, and we're back with another live stream, family. We were supposed to get this one cracking last week, but a lot of things have taken place to kind of try to block the message from being delivered, but it's not going to happen. Y'all already know what it is with all the things that be going on, all the things that be capping. We ain't going to let it stop us doing what we do. So with that, without further ado, shout out to all the new channel members. Shout out to all the Patreon members. Shout out to all the new subscribers. I got to do something special for y'all, man, for pushing us to this 24,000 mark, man. So gratitude to everybody who's joined the channel. Much love and much appreciation. And real quick before we get into it, I heard there's some things going on with the Patreon community too, family. So if you're in the Patreon community and you've been having any issues with any access to the community, shoot me an email. I'll post my email in the comments to the show for you to holler at me and let me know so I can get that taken care of. So with that, without further ado, peace and blessings, Wunam. How you doing today? Uh-oh, I can't hear you. Okay, I hear you.
I'm good. Peace and blessings. How are you? I was trying to not snack in the phone.
Listen, and my apologies to y'all. Try anybody that saw the message from prior to us coming live. I was trying to get on earlier, but I forgot I used this camera to film some basketball this weekend, and I had to set it all up, and that took me a little longer than anticipated. So my apologies for the extra delay, but we're here to make this thing happen today. So with that, Wunam, it's a lot, man. It's been a whole lot, as it always is when we have these conversations and these messages for the family, man. So, I was telling you before we came on air about this video, and I'm hoping that the tribe's seen it. I'm pretty sure y'all have, but anybody can find any footage or images or pictures of all the birds that were, that were flying over the White House recently. I saw that story somewhere. I can't remember where it was, and I wanted to get pictures and some video footage of it, but I wasn't able to find it as fast as I wanted to in order to share it tonight. But I'll definitely be sharing it because I know when it comes to birds and it comes to spirituality, we all know that you are a daughter of the mothers of the Yami Osaranga, as well as, the Odu of the Yami and the mothers. So with that, I know we got to get started with the ancestral prayer, but I almost got ahead of myself. But I want to jump right into the mothers and these birds. But let's go ahead and do the prayer, and then so I can get back into them questions, man. Because listen, like I said, it's always a lot, and then especially the topic at hand. So I'm gonna jump off and give you the floor for the prayer.
Okay. All right. We're asking ancestors to rise, ancestors rise. We're calling on all of our ancestors to be with us, to guide us, to give us wisdom, to guide our visions, and to be safe from anything that's going on in this chaotic world. Protect our energy, protect our families. Ancestors, keep walking with us. I say.
Ashe. Oh, I give gratitude and thanks to all of our powerful mighty ancestors, man. The lineage ones, the freedom fighter ones, the global ancestors, all of them, man, for real, because they all definitely I feel like watching over and protecting us and working with us. So with that,
wait, let me say this. I gotta say a shout out to my twin soul, Malcolm X, because our birthday is tomorrow.
Sure is. God,
right.
Sure is.
You forgot. Yeah, our birthday's tomorrow. I just thought about it my damn self. Let me shut up. But anyway, tomorrow.
You time flying, man. I normally always have something set up for that, man. I ain't get a chance to do nothing this year. We did it last year though. Wow, yeah, that time is flying. I'm gonna do something. I gotta do something. So I'm gonna have to whip something together for tomorrow. I think what I'll do is I'll create like a highlight of the one we did last year, and then probably like a tribute. Yeah, I'm gonna put something together for that because I can't let that slide. Matter of fact, speaking of which, look, I gotta finish setting the studio right. If I can get them set up front and center, I gotta put them up the right way. But that's the one that used to sit right across from me at the old place where I would always be podcasting. And that picture was sitting right across from me, so I'll be looking at him while I'm talking to y'all. So now he's gonna be looking at us while looking at y'all. Well, yeah. So I'm gonna make sure I set that up for the birthday tomorrow too, man. For real. Yeah. That's what's up. So yeah, and shout out to Professor Kaba. Baba Mukasa Dada, Big Chief Ryan Hayes for joining us on that panel last year in honor of the Honorable El Haj Malik El Shabazz, none other than the Honorable Malcolm X. So now with that, happy early birthday to you and, you know, the Honorable Ancestor. So, and then, you know, because we definitely got to give gratitude and love for that, man. So with that, now I can get back into my questions. So because, you know, today's topic is how to block monitoring spirits. And, you know, there's a lot of monitoring going on, a lot of surveillance with the technology, with, you know, the TVs, the phones, you name it. If it's got any type of technical capabilities, it's probably got some sort of camera or some sort of access for certain agencies to violate our privacy and to be surveillancing. So when it comes to the spiritual aspect, that's something that, you know, certain people and certain energies and entities know how to do as well when it comes to monitoring people, you know, through spirit. And so before we get into that, though, I hope that someone else seen that story about all the birds that was flying over the White House, and I think they were blackbirds too. I don't know if they were crows.
No, I found it. I found the picture, and
Perfect.
it's all black birds. All black birds.
Can you send that to me? Because I really wanted to share that with the tribe on the screen, man. I really, because I was like, yo, this was divine time, and I definitely whip it up there too.
Okay, I gotta send it from this phone right here, but
okay, yeah. Now once I get it, I'll transfer it and all that so I could share it with the tribe, because I want to get your perspective on that, because I'm not surprised by it, being that, you know, there's a major shift going on. We are transitioning and transforming from, you know, the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius, as well as from the patriarchal dominance of society, global society for that matter, back into the matriarchal, you know, dominance and mother, Big Mama taking over and taking over the reins of the planet, you know, from the universal perspective to the planetary perspective, as well as, you know, with human beings and nature's perspective. You know, we're returning, the world is being returned back to the divine feminine where it's supposed to be, you know, to begin with. So what do you feel like spirit is telling us or showing us with a arrival of all of these birds who are symbols and symbolism of the mothers over this particular place in the United States of America?
I'm not surprised. But let me say this before I go into what I see. Usually when it's time for me to give my mothers an offering, I'll wake up to a whole flock of over 100, and I'm not even exaggerating, over 100 birds outside in the trees. And when when I hear that, I know it's their call to give their offering. So, you know, when the mothers want something, they're going to come and they're going to let you know. Okay. But over the White House, there's a lot of energy that's over that White House. And, you know, a lot of times these people into spirituality too. Y'all know this. Everybody does. Everything is spiritual. Okay. But the mothers are kind of checking it out and scoping it out. Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in that White House some people don't know. And, you know, it's not to be known, including some alien forces in that White House too. Okay. And a lot of people don't know the Yami also govern the universe, not just this earth, but the universe. Okay. If you ever read the stories about Yami Osaranga, you'll understand that they also govern the universe. So they are over all. So they're actually watching over the White House right now. There's some talk going on. What I see spiritually, there's some talk going on in there. There are some mother spirits in that White House, and they also do rituals in there. A lot of people either know or don't know, but they do rituals in that White House. Okay, there's rituals done in that White House too. But for them to scope it out like they are, I don't know. Something sounds like it's getting ready to happen. I feel like my spirit is like something's getting ready to happen. I don't know if it's to the White House or in DC, but something is getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That absolutely is. And I feel like that's a huge sign. It's a huge omen. And it reminds me of one of the shows we was doing a while back when I remember sharing with you too, like you were saying how the mothers come when you're ready to give them offers, all that. I remember I used to go take my lunch at that parking lot, and I remember they would come and chill. I think I had sent you a picture. If I didn't, I will, because they would literally come and sit on the truck, like on the rearview mirror, like on the front of the truck. They would sit on the hood. They would sit literally on the rearview mirror that was on the side of the truck. You know how the semis had the big rearview mirrors on the side? They would sit right there and just be looking at me like, yo, what's up? because I would feed them too. I would feed them like after I eat, I would throw them whatever was left over. But they were doing that before I would feed them, and I didn't really know what it was back then because this was long before I got tapped in deep into the ancestral spiritual practices. So it was like I just studied metaphysics. But long story short, that meant something to me then, and it definitely means something to me now about what we just saw take place over the White House. Like I don't feel like that's a coincidence at all. I feel like that's a show of dominance and presence, and there was in 1952, July of 1952, there was about 7 to 9 UFOs that was hovering above the White House for, I want to say, about 7 or 8 days that they could not do anything with. They couldn't stop them. They couldn't get them out of there. They would send flying jets up there to fly around and try to, get them to scramble or whatever. They would just play with them. They would literally either blink in and out, or they would leave and come right back, but they couldn't make them leave. Like, because they were there for, I think, 7 days. Anybody want to look it up, you'll see that in 1952, I want to say July 11th or something like that, but 1952, where the UFOs hovered above the White House for several days at a time. So I feel like this is kind of like a premonition, or I should say this, I feel like it's like a present experience, kind of like what took place in the past in the 1950s, because as we're seeing now, it's so much unfolding and so much happening from the planetary level, like I said, to the universal level, to with us as people. I don't feel like that's a coincidence, and I do feel like they're showing up and showing out to let us know that, yeah, we're here and we about to shut all this shit down.
Yeah, they are. And then there's another thing Spirit just showed me. There's a connection underground to the White House, to many other from the White House to many other places, including Egypt.
Yes.
This is what I see spiritually. So, there's definitely a connection there, and they also do rituals in that White House, like I said. But the mothers are watching. They're watching them. Something is going to happen. I can't tell you right yet, but if I get it, I'll let y'all know. But something's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're not watching them for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's facts.
And then if you all remember too, I believe that Obama's wife, her mother was into spirituality. And they said she was doing spiritual work in the White House.
Michelle's mom?
Yeah.
Get out of here. I didn't know about that. I knew she lived there with him, but I didn't know she was spiritual.
Yeah, she was spiritual. She was they didn't say she was a priestess, but they said she was doing spiritual work in the White House. She was doing some type of work in the White House.
Well, look, y'all don't need initiations to be priestesses. So she sound like she was doing some priest work to me.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. She might have been the daughter of the Yami as well.
Hey,
yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
But that energy has to come because there's a lot of chaos going on. There's still a lot of, drama, a lot of lies, a lot of, illusion that's going on. So, it has to be fixed, but I just see something's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be weather-wise or something's getting ready to happen over there.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like I said, because that's where we're at now, and in these times, like there's a lot unfolding and happening. When you're talking about the divine feminine, like you said, the mothers don't govern just the earth; they govern the universe. So that's a real thing. That's much higher than just the planet, and that's why this has always been a big mama's house, and always has been, always is, and always will be. And that's why we do what we do, paying reverence to the mothers. So that's why you're here today. So I want to give gratitude and thanks again to all the feminine energy, not just on the channel, but all those in the comments, all those for subscribing, for rocking with us, for riding with us. We definitely salute, praise, and give honor to each and every single one of y'all, dear mamas. So with that, monitoring spirits, Wunam, that's something that we know that takes place in spirituality. For the sake of people who want to see what's going on, or might want to figure out ways to attack you, or might want to, figure out ways to steal from you, deceive you. I mean, there's so many different ways. What are, from a spiritual perspective, from somebody who has as much experience as you have with, your journey, as a spiritualist, as a priestess, as a healer, all the things that you are, exorcist, all the things that you are and that you've accomplished with your spiritual journey. How would you break down and define what a monitoring spirit is to the tribe, for some of those who may have never even heard of a thing called a monitoring spirit?
Wow, boy, wow. Monitoring spirits are spirits that are sent to watch you in many different ways. And we have many different type of monitoring spirits. You know, sometimes they can send them through witchcraft. They can send them through traditional methods. There's many kind of monitoring spirits that they can send.
Mm.
I'll give y'all that's one that's most common is the trickster monitoring spirit that you think you put your keys over here, but then you're looking for them and they're not there, and you know you put them there, right? That's a kind of a monitoring spirit, okay?
Mm.
And they'll send spirits like that. You think you're going crazy, but they're watching you and what you're doing, and they're messing with your stuff while they're doing it.
Mm.
That one is a real popular one that you know most people experience. I
Right.
know I put my keys here. I know I put my glasses here, but they're not there. That's the type of monitoring. Then you got restless ancestral spirits, which can be monitoring. They're not bad, but they're watching you because you don't even know they're there. A lot of people are not aware of their ancestors, and you know they feel like something is watching, and it could be restless ancestral spirits. Okay, you have those that are watching you, not necessarily in a bad way because they're trying to get your attention. You may have a gift, you may
Mm.
have a way to feel spirits, but they're trying to let you know, hey, I'm your ancestor, I'm here. So they're
Right.
watching, okay?
Mm.
You got spirits that are dream intruder spirits that they can send to you.
Mm.
That will come into your dreams. Those are a type of monitoring spirits. So you have many different type of monitoring spirits, and in the spiritual community, they're known. A lot of people are known to send them out to watch you, and you think it's not, you know, you think it is normal, but nah, you see certain things happening. You might see something walk past you. You might see a spirit walk past, and it's really a spirit that's monitoring for that traditional healer or that spiritualist or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, that is trying to watch you, and that spirit will bring messages back to them about you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are the ones I was those ones I was talking about, because the night when we had to reschedule the this show, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and still go on because I had already designated the time to to chop it up with the tribe anyway. So I stayed on for probably like close to an hour or so. But we was chopping it up about a lot of that. And I was telling them about how I couldn't wait for you to come on, like to really break it down, the way you just did, because like I said, you got a lot more experience at dealing with that than I do. I think if I'm not mistaken, you might be the one who taught me about it in class before. So. But anyway, I was just telling them that I couldn't wait to have that conversation with you in regards to like breaking it down for everybody to hear and learn more about it. And shout out to Mama Teresa, not that one that over there in the other side of the world. We're talking about the melanated Mama Teresa for doing the research real quick for us and throwing up the information on the UFOs. So it was July 19th through 20th, and then July 26th through 27th in 1952. So I appreciate that. I knew somebody would know about it. And so she said, they said that objects were tracked moving at various speeds, including very low and very slow speeds, or up to over 7,000 miles per hour. Military jets were scrambled to intercept, but the objects vanished and outpaced them. You can't mess with a superior force, man. It just ain't happening. So
Right. Right. It ain't happening. It's not. So the best thing is humble yourself and sit down and just enjoy watching them. That's what you do.
several goddamn seats.
Exactly.
Expeditiously.
Exactly.
Shout out to my gym crew, man. They would say, go sit your ass in the corner somewhere. Go sit down in the corner. That's what you can do. Oh, man. But nah, that's dope. I appreciate you for looking that up and sharing that with us. And I sent you an email too, Mama Teresa, about the stuff that you sent me messages for. I responded to you tonight, so you should have that now. But that right there, to me, that's where when I saw that, that's what made me think. It made me think of that. Like, it made me think of that experience, and I'm gonna share it. I appreciate Dinkler for sending me the footage. I got it. I'm gonna share it real quick.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Okay,
here it is, right here, family. So this is what I was talking about. So as you can see, you see who knows how many, because that's a large piece of, like, that building is large, and they're literally covered. That whole section that we see of that building is covered with blackbirds. And to me, that's not a coincidence. I don't know the exact date. Were you able to get the date of that when that took place?
Let me see.
Because now we can look into like numerology and shoot. Might even have the divine.
Let me see if I can get it.
See, because it definitely has a powerful symbolism to it.
They're not telling us today. Hold on, Trump. We can comment.
And if not, I'll find it.
Yeah. So May 6th, that was no, that's something else. It's not showing us the date.
That's fine. I'll find it. I just appreciate
Yeah.
you finding the picture because, like I said, I wanted to have it before we came on, but I didn't get a chance to find exactly what I wanted. But there's video footage of it too, so I'm gonna do my little research and find the video footage and some more pictures to share with y'all tribe because, like I said, that's not a coincidence to me that they showed up over that house like that.
Right.
And you can't stop nature. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that they use this technology to do, but you can't stop nature. And
Nah,
clearly,
that's real.
yeah. And so you seeing the mothers do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So now yeah.
Man, I told you something about to happen. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, and I'm gonna tap in more, but something about to happen. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's gonna be an earthquake or something pertaining to weather, maybe a tornado come through there, but
Mm.
something will happen over there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a real thing. That's what I said. Like I really want to start out with that because, like I said, you being a child of the mothers and you know the insight that you have, the inner vision, understanding, overstanding, understanding, and understanding of how the Yami Osaranga and how they work and how they move. I want to bring that up and bring it to the tribe's attention because, like I said, there's a lot developing, there's a lot happening. There's so much that we can't keep up with all of it because it's so much that's happening. So it's like all of us, if we do our own, you know, independent research and we kind of share it amongst each other, it'll help all of us put all the pieces to the puzzle together of what's actually taking place, you know, manifesting in real
Right,
time. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. And shout out to our new tribe member, Golden Sunkiss 5099. Brand new member. Said they was vibing from the very beginning and just joined us. We appreciate you,
Well,
family, for joining us. And they said that they've experienced everything that you talked about when in regards to the monitoring spirits.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's a lot more too. There's trickster spirits, okay? They
Mhm.
can send trickster spirits to you. There's a lot more.
Mhm.
But people need to pay attention because sometimes it affects them very badly.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, if they don't know, and these spirits are watching, they also, this is the power of Africa. There's spirits we can send in your house that can take stuff out of your house. There's spirits we can cause you, to cause you to have problems. We're going to cause arguments. They have those type of monster spirits that can come in there and just cause you to argue. Y'all don't know why y'all arguing, but y'all arguing, right? So there's many different type of monitoring spirits, as I said earlier, but we have to know how to get rid of them too.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Return to
yeah.
sender. And look, that right there, a segue right into the next comment. Shout out to Harmony 0913. She was on the other day when I was on, and she was saying how she was asking about the classes. Like my eyes got paused because of all the stuff I had to deal with that I finally got done. So now I can get business back to usual. Over these next couple of weeks, I'll definitely be, getting back to normal as far as the volume on the channel and with the Patreon and the private communities. But she wanted to know about the classes. She said, when you spoke about spiritual practitioner classes on the last live stream you were on, can you go into detail? Have you?
Well, which one? Because we got right now. I'm getting ready to start up a class teaching people how to get certified with spiritual counseling at level 1, where they
Okay,
can actually counsel other people because we need a lot of help.
we do.
So
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of
we do.
people are dealing with a lot of trauma.
Yeah,
And then we have the classes where we just in the school app where we teach the basics. I don't give everything. Those are for people who want to learn about tradition, and we teach them the basics. About put some rituals in there. We put some energy of the week in there. What else we got? I have some ways you can do divination. So we do like basic things in the school app, and you can join the school app if you want. That's $30 a month. And then, of course, we have the Wunam Spiritual Society where we actually do initiations, and that's you'll be with me forever. You don't ever leave. So I've had people that been with me for 10 years, 12 years, and we're still constantly learning. Just like if you were in Africa, you're still learning. I'm 56 years old. I'm still learning. I have to get more training. I'm still learning. I was born into tradition,
yeah.
so you're always learning more as you get older. But that's why I created the Wunam Spiritual Society that way, so people are still with me. You pay one time, but you'll be with us. We do classes every Sunday or Monday. So yeah, we have different things that we're doing.
Mm-hmm. And oh, I've changed the comment. And at Harmony 0913, I'll be sharing all of Wunam's like the website, the social links and all that stuff in the comments and on the show description as well. So that way you can reach out and connect with her. And as far as mine's we're gonna start in the Patreon. Like we already have a lot of stuff in the Patreon already as it is, but we're gonna have a lot more coming into the Patreon. And I think I'm gonna do a school for the next level too. Because what we've had in the Patreon are a lot of private community calls where we cover a lot of different topics. We get a lot of different guests in. Wunam comes in. Shout out to Millie coming in. SCG 13. Shout out to OJ Yemi. Like we've had a ton of guests that come through in the private community calls, but we're gonna start doing more dedicated ones specifically for ancestral spirituality and with the Orisha Ifa spiritual system, and then also we're going to be diving into the Kemetic spiritual system after we do like the first maybe semester or two with the Ifa spiritual tradition. So we got a lot in store coming on my end as well, family. Like I said, a lot of family and personal business that I took a lot of time away from my typical, routine that I had to take care of that was mandatory, but it's done now. So we getting right back to jumping back on the highway, man. We're gonna hit these corners and bend them and switch lanes and switch gears and things on these folks. So we're definitely ready to get it cracking and get it popping. So
You should do a school app. Do it.
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Because the way I'm gonna do it, like some of the stuff, see with Patreon, I could do like calls and stuff, but when it comes to the lessons and the lesson plans and being able to actually go through, what I'm saying, a real course like that, I will have to probably do the school because there's not a lot of other platforms, and Patreon doesn't have that capability as of right now that I know of to put courses into it. So
well, yeah, the school app is good because you can do that and you can go if they can go levels. So you can put courses in there because I put divination courses in there. You do that for people who want to learn. So yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, I am
and you could do video on there too.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it because look, I'm a student. I'm in yours, and I'm in like 3 or 4. That's the thing. Like, listen, like you said, and I'm glad you said that about how long you've been doing this and that you're still learning. Because I'm a baby in this particular aspect. I'm only 5, 6, 7 years into having a ceremony under my belt, but I was born as a child of the Creator with gifts, spiritual gifts. 45 years, you know what I'm saying? In this vessel. I don't know how many prior to the other lifetimes, but we're talking a long time. But I say all that to say I'm never going to portray myself as some expert, you know what I'm saying, that knows everything and has everything. Now I'm going to keep it a buck for I do what I do and I do what I do.
Not to tell you this, not to cut your wisdom, but in your past, one of your past lives, you was a high priest in Kemet. I see that.
Wow.
You was a high priest in Kemet. Yeah, that was one of your past lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm about to get with you to do a deep dive now. And that's funny that you say that though, but that's shout out to Yaya, because the very first divination I ever received in my life, she told me that. My godmother told me that. Like, she was like, you brought some ashe with you from your last lifetime, from a previous life. You brought priestly ashe with you from a previous lifetime. So that's I know it's spot on, because the very first one I ever got, she told me exactly what you just said.
Yeah, and then but specifically in Kemet. So that was a lifetime way before. You had 2 more since then. You've had 2 more lifetimes since then, and one lifetime. Wow, it's crazy. And sister showing me you was in China. You was a Chinese man in one of your lifetimes. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep. That's real deep. Because that wow. That's crazy how spirit works, man. I got a tattoo of a symbol from that culture.
Really?
And so that's what I said. It's funny how spirit work, man, and this was, I was like 17, 18. So I was young when I got it, but it spoke to me. And that's the thing about spirit, like when it speaks, you know what I mean? Like for me, the way my, whatever you want to call it, telepathy, telecommunication, whatever you want to call it, the way mine is set up, it's crystal clear, it's direct, like it's clear. And so whenever those certain frequencies of communications chime in, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I know it's real. Like I know, what I'm saying, whatever's being transmitted, I know it's fact.
That's not a coincidence either. So that's a representation of one of your past lives. So spirit was already letting you know when you get in that symbol, you were actually part of Chinese culture back in one of their lives. And specifically, I'm seeing in the 1700s. 17 spirit showed me like 1791. You was a Chinese man in China. And you were spiritual then too. You lived up in the mountains. Yeah. that,
Oh
that
man.
that was the second. That was your second past life.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm about to get a deep dive on all these, man, because I
Yeah.
need that information for
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
do that. That's
So yeah,
powerful.
yeah. Now one more I see for you was in 1900. You became, then you came back as a black man, a black older man.
Mm,
1900s, perfectly 19, like between 1901 and 1910. I see that you pretty much were an older black man. You was into business back then too. You was into
mm,
your business. You wasn't doing spiritual stuff though. You were business.
mm.
Almost looked like if you was in a place where it was like Black Wall Street. Very prominent black businessman in the 1900s.
Mm.
That was your third lifetime. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Talk about divine downloads. That's yeah,
yeah,
that's powerful.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to get with you on a full-blown session for these because look, that's some information I wasn't expecting, but I'm grateful for. I'm gonna take all that.
Yeah, take it all in. A lot of times,
Yeah.
I had a good friend of mine. She was one of my best friends. She just transitioned a couple years ago. She was one of my besties, and when I first met her, her son put us together,
Mm,
and I did a past life reading for her.
mm.
And I remember she dropped the phone because I told her, I said, you was an old white man. I said, you was in war in England. And I said, you was an older white man. You died in war. She dropped the phone. She said, oh my God, I used to have dreams. She was from Brooklyn too. She was, I used to have dreams of being an old white man and I was in war and I died. And she just like blew her mind. I said, Spirit showed me you used to be a white and you died in war. And she just went crazy. She said she would have repeated dreams about being that white man in war in England. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we gotta have a show on that. That's another. Let me write that down. That's a whole nother show topic. That's a whole nother past lifetimes. Because I didn't know you did. I didn't know you did past life
Really?
consultation.
Oh
No, I didn't
yeah.
know that. No, I never knew that.
I
I
went on
mean,
TikTok the other night and did past life readings, and everybody was like, me, 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 me. I
ah,
mean, it was going up like crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, but I do past life readings, I do ancestral readings, I do the health readings, pet reading, all
Yeah,
that.
we gotta take that to the private community. I mean, we could do one on the show, but I would love to give the private community a treat with having
Okay.
a private community call with past life. But then but look, the next show we do, I would love to do that too.
Okay, we could
Because
do
that's
that.
something that look, I'm intrigued, and I know for a fact I can't keep up with the comments, family, but I know y'all, I know y'all tearing them up with the comments too, in regards to that. But yeah, that's powerful. Yeah, we gotta do another show on that for sure.
Okay, we'll definitely do that.
Oh yeah, I want to get all my insight. Now
You see,
that's
what's crazy, a lot of times when I do past life readings, you know, some of their past lives affect this present life.
oh
So,
yeah.
for instance, if you just say if you had a past life and in your past life you had poverty,
Hmm.
and in this life you're so scared of that because it happened in your past life, you always trying to hold on to money. It's the
Yeah.
reason why you might be holding on to that money
Yeah. Yeah.
because in your past life you lived in poverty. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's
So
real. Yeah,
yeah,
because trauma can, we can bring a lot of our shade with us from in and out of lives. Clearly, somebody who has the gift to be able to interpret that and to see that and to pick that up, that right there is verification and proof that that's something that we
right,
don't. When we transition, it's just the body. It's not, what I'm saying. It's not the
right,
spirit. It's not the soul. Like that's infinite. I've said that I don't know how many times on the show. That is infinite. They cannot
right,
kill us, no matter what. They can
right,
kill the temporary rental vehicle that we're in, which is the skin suit, but they
right.
cannot kill what animates that. Don't ever
That's
let
right.
them think you or make you think that they can take you out. No, they can take the body out, but they
Right.
cannot take out the soul.
They
Now,
can't take
you
out
ain't
the
got no
soul.
soul. You've been doing some stuff. You done sold it or let it go. And then,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I don't know about it. We going. That's a whole nother conversation. But for everybody who just living life that ain't on no malicious eating children and goddamn drinking blood and raping, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't
Yeah,
on
yeah,
you ain't in the files category, you should be straight. But so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that
They crazy. They crazy with that
yeah,
right there. That's another whole
yeah, that's it.
topic because them that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gotta people gotta understand it's from birth to death and death to life.
Hmm.
And then you living. That's why we say that from birth to death and death to life because you living.
Yeah.
Because the death just like a tree dies and then it goes back. The same with the body. You got to remember the human body is a part of the planet. You are nature. Nature is you, right?
Facts.
So when you step outside, you step into yourself. So you got to understand physical body. I just had to tell. I was doing a spiritual counseling session tonight with a young lady and she lost her son.
Mm.
Sadly, he was in a car driving by, somebody shot, and the bullet hit a main artery. And she's still mourning him after 3 years. And what's crazy is because I had to explain to her, yeah, it's gonna be hard. That's your child. You know what I mean? You always gonna have to, deal with the fact that his physical aspect is not here. I said, but he's sure with you right now. So
Mm.
when I started talking, I said, well, he wants some soda. She said, oh my God, he loves soda.
Mm.
I said, but I'm telling you, that's what I'm telling you. I want you to see. How
Yeah.
did I know that? I said, that's telling you he's right there with you. He hasn't left you. His
Yeah.
physical body left you. And
Yes.
we get so attached to the physical body that we don't understand that it has to go through a cycle, just like nature. Plants come, they go, they die, flowers go, you know what I mean? Just like the human body. So get attached to the soul, because the
Yeah.
soul ain't never gonna leave you.
That's fact. Oh my God, that's fact.
Right.
And you know that's okay for those who live in any climate that gets snow or cold weather. You
Mhm.
know for a fact, and I know this from being born up north. My grandmother had in her front yard. It was dope. The driveway she had, because that's where I played ball. I learned to play ball in that same driveway. But anyway, she had a big, and it was like, I don't know whoever created it. It was there before we moved there, but she had a big, almost like a massive flower pot. Now in hindsight, I think about it, it was shaped almost damn near in the form of a crown. It was in a
Mhm.
circular shape, kind of like the Ashe logo. It was a
Mhm.
circular shape, just like that, minus the little arrows at the top. And every single year, the most beautiful tulips would grow in the middle of that circle concrete pot or whatever. I don't even know
Mhm.
what the hell you call that thing, but it was somewhere that had grass and soil in it, and then flowers
Mhm.
would grow every spring
Mhm.
and summer. The tulips would grow up in that little pot or whatever, that's that
Mhm.
driveway pot or whatever you want to call it. And then in the wintertime, they would all die. There was no grass, there was no nothing. It was dead. But as soon as the weather started warming up, the snow broke, the ice broke, you know what I'm saying, and the sun was back shining, you would see the grass start first, and then after the grass, then you would see the flowers start to sprout up, and then boom, beautiful tulips would blossom and be right there for the whole spring and summer, or for the whole summertime. And then when
See?
the weather got cold, they would die and come back. So that is a metaphor for what happens to us, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
as humans. The same thing that happens in nature, you know what I mean? Whether it's
Right.
flowers, trees, plants, whatever the case may be. You
Right.
can't kill the creator.
You can't. And then when we got to understand, we have the concept of saying you are your ancestor and your ancestors you. And that's crazy because the DNA and the blood is what really counts. That's what you really want to look at. So, I know that I sound like my mother and grandmother mix. We got the same tone, right? Or
Hmm.
I look like my grandmother, but I look like my mother, but I look like my father too, right? So that concept of, I am my ancestors me, that lineage, that DNA carries a long way back. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
a lot of times we got to realize it's all about the blood, and the blood represents what? Life source, which is the soul, right? And the physical is going to go, but that spirit is going to come back. That spirit is
Fact.
going to definitely come back. Mm-hmm.
Big facts.
Yeah, big fact. But a lot of times people ask in other cultures, they'll say you can come back as a butterfly, you can come back as an animal. Now that's not too common in Africa. I don't know every tribe because there's 3,000 tribes in Africa, but the tribes that I'm with, I know that that's not heard of too much.
Hmm.
When you come back as an animal or butterfly, like I think it's the Chinese or somebody that believe you can come back as a beetle, stuff like that.
Hmm.
But in African traditions, there's certain animals that can be sent, and the energy of that loved one can embody that actual bird. Like for instance, my godmother, who I call my mother as well. I got three mothers. Three
Hmm.
mothers, literally. She raised me, my grandmother raised, and my mother. So I had three women raise me, very powerful women. My godmother was from Virginia, and my mother and grandmother from Africa. Okay,
Hmm.
but very strong, all of them. So my god sister and my godbrother came a couple of weeks ago from New York. Now I don't even say god sister because I grew up with them from the time I was little. So I say my brother and sister, right?
Hmm.
So while they were here, because I hadn't seen my sister in probably about 4 years, and while they were here, why did a red robin fly on my balcony? And when it flew on her balcony, I knew it was her. She was happy that we were all together. I said, there she goes, right? So sometimes the ancestors will embody a bird or an owl or somebody, or maybe a squirrel or somebody. something, okay, to let you know that they're around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm so glad you said that because yeah, I've been out and about a lot more often, which I'm grateful for. I gotta keep getting out more too. I found some dope, nice, beautiful nature spots. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring the cameras out there when I go to a couple of them and get some footage because it's dope. But anyway, I say all that to say, I keep track of what I be seeing when I'm out and about. So I can't remember that. I hate that I can't remember the exact day, but it was one day last week. I want to say it probably was closer towards the end of the week, maybe like Thursday or Friday. But either way it goes, I was out and about and I was out driving for a minute. I'll say probably about a good portion, half the day. I saw 3 cardinals. What was it? 3 cardinals. Damn it, what other birds was it? I think 3 cardinals, a huge hawk. I think it was a hawk. It could have been a brown eagle, but I think it was a hawk. And then it was something else. But I made a mental note, like you didn't highlight Wunam about this next time you talk to her. I knew as a matter of fact, it might have been the same day the original show was supposed to be scheduled. But anyway, I say all that to say, one day last week, either Thursday or Friday, I think it was, I saw 3 cardinals and a big, beautiful hawk. And then today, I saw, was it another card? No, a couple of days ago, I saw a blue jay at my mom's house, actually. And then today, I saw a black snake driving across the street, like right as I was coming up to the stop sign. But he it's funny because you can tell he was just chilling in the middle of the road. But when I got closer, I see him start, he got up out of there. But it was a black snake. It probably was like a grass snake. Yeah, it was a black snake, unless it was a black racer or I forgot the name of the other, a moccasin. But those don't generally go that far away from water. I don't know if there was how far water was from where I was at, but it was a black snake. So it could have been a grass snake, a moccasin, or a black racer.
Okay.
Down here, that's where the main 3, the most common 3 black snakes are.
You know what? Nobody passed in your family lately, have they?
No, aunt did probably about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. But no, not since then.
Because they say that the Cardinals are usually sent by a loved one.
I think that's one of my grandmothers, man, because I see cardinals a lot.
So?
I
Really?
think so. Yeah, I see red cardinals a lot. Like, you remember I told you one time I left an offering for the mothers, and then and this was weeks later. I'm talking about weeks later. I went walking by, and a doggone cardinal was standing right in the spot. I'm talking about right in the spot where I left, the offering for the mothers. So I'm like, yo. So yeah, and I remember telling you about it on one of our streams too. But so yeah, I see them a lot.
Okay.
I see them quite often. Yeah. Matter of fact, I saw.
So your ancestors around you a lot, but you do a lot of spiritual stuff too.
Yeah.
So they're gonna stay around you. It's
Yeah.
gotten so strong. And another thing I want to bring out: has everybody noticed the birds been out earlier than they're supposed to?
Yes.
You notice that?
I think you're the second or third person that's brought it up, that we spoke about that. Yes, I noticed that.
Why are they chirping at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, or even earlier. There's been times when I was up super late and I'm out on the patio or whatever, and they getting it. Like, they are getting it.
Right. The birds are chirping and I feel bad for them because the things that they're doing to this planet is just throwing all of their energy off. Even the trees. People, again, I'm gonna say this, y'all think I'm crazy, but I don't give a goddamn. At the end of the day, I talk to the trees, I talk to the birds. When I wake up in the morning, there's a huge tree in front of my window. And when I wake up, I see the tree happy, it starts going crazy. And you know how I know? Because the other trees around it ain't moving. I don't even have to talk. If I open up the shades in the window, it's automatically waving to me. But what's crazy is they're confusing it. Now, last week it was a little bit cold. Today we get 90 degrees, feeling like 102, very humid. It hasn't rained here, so they ain't getting no water. Then they're putting all these damn chemtrails all over the place, and they're causing the trees, nature, the animals to go crazy.
Yeah. People
That's
too.
why the mothers are here. That's why the mother's about to teach them a damn lesson.
Yeah. People too, man. Like the way people been driving lately, or even like in the stores, like, and wherever, like, it's just like, yo, people, we talked about it. Like, people wilding. Like, I'm just like, man, listen, please go ahead on with that kind of energy, man. And I started going into my turtle shell, boy, because I'm like, I don't want, I don't want no lightning bolts to be slung nowhere. No, like for
Yeah.
real. But all seriousness, like seriously, I be seeing them lightning bolts too. That's another thing I've been seeing a lot lately too. On a
Yeah.
serious note, so it's like, please stop playing because you can't get hit with one. Like for real. Where
Right.
I'm at, we are well. Somebody showed me that there's a new lightning capital of the world, but I know as far as I know, where I'm at is still considered to be the lightning capital of the world. So yeah, like you got to be careful out there. Got to be
Yeah,
careful.
be careful. But
Mhm.
you know, nature is and I'm gonna keep saying it, nature's getting angry, they better be careful.
Yeah.
Be very careful. You think you see them birds fly over the house, wait till y'all start seeing more tornadoes and earthquakes coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
tornadoes and the hurricane season gonna be crazy this year because they gotta cleanse.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's funny that you say that because I've been saying that for a while too. And shout out to Divine Rorosita 333 for sharing that. The Google Classroom app is the name of the platform that you can load lessons in Zoom. I'm gonna have to check that out too. I appreciate you, family. Appreciate you for sharing that. I'm gonna look into that one. But and then shout out to Lady Walker with the super chat. I definitely appreciate you, and you already know I appreciate all the love and support and all the communities that you're in and that you support, man. So I definitely appreciate that super chat, and we definitely look forward to all the courses too.
Hey, good
But
night, Walker. Hey, how you doing?
yeah, Lady Walker she be getting it in with the tribe, man. So I definitely always got gratitude and love, for the whole tribe. But
I know,
when it,
because they all came to me looking for you. Remember that time?
yeah.
Disappeared. They were worried about my brother. I said, oh boy, y'all got me worried now. Yeah, sure. Look, I'm having starting to go, had to go pull out some water and some cells so I could find out where you was at. Yeah. I was
Nah,
like,
it's funny.
y'all making me nervous now.
I'm laughing because it's funny. I remember when you called me, boy. It's not funny. My
Yeah.
bad, try. I didn't mean to have y'all like that. I promise you, I didn't. I just had to unplug. That's all. It really was as simple as that. And you the one that gave me the message. Do you remember
Yeah.
when you gave me that ancestor divination? And I was like, yo, and I was
Yeah.
already feeling some type of way, like I needed to unplug. But boy, when you gave me that message, I was like, shh. Y'all ain't never got to tell me twice.
Sure, they were looking for you. I said,
Listen,
now.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm only
so
doing
yeah.
it because they told me to come do it. I'm not a TV person. I'm not. I'm not a personality that needs the limelight, no damn cameras, none of it. I promise.
Right.
Like that's not me. I mean, I love what I do, and I love the work that I do. With the people. That's a real thing. I love that, but I don't need all that other stuff. But they told me that's what you're gonna do. So that's here I am.
That's what you gotta
But
do. So you
when they
better get to getting that comedic stuff out there, boy.
listen, man, listen,
Lady Nyquil, she gonna love it because you know
listen.
what? I used to be intrigued with Kemet.
Yeah.
Actually, when I was 6 years old, I didn't know anything about Kemet or Egypt or whatever. And what's crazy, I drew a picture of not King Tut.
Mm,
Drew a picture of him, and at that time I hadn't seen anything. And remember, their colors were green and blue. And ever since I was a little girl, I was actually intrigued with Egypt, right? As y'all know it, but the real name is Kemet. But also, there was a brother, Baba Harry, not Baba Haru, not the one that was married to Queen Afua. Baba Harry, he was an older gentleman, and he was here in Georgia. He called me, and I remember he sat me in front of he had a pyramid, he had a brass, or was it brass, or what do you call that? What do you call that? It's not brass. You know what I'm talking about? Copper pyramid. He sat me in the middle of the pyramid, and he had a big like eye on the wall.
mm,
And I was sitting there, and he was telling me just close your eyes and start meditating, meditate. So I'm sitting there. Now you know I'm already spiritual, so I'm going deep in, right? He had to pull me out. He's like, "Oh no, you going too goddamn deep." He's like, "Let me pull you out." But anyway, he crowned me. He said I was Queen Hatshepsut in my past life.
mm. I say.
Now, if you know the story of Queen Hatshepsut, she was a very powerful queen in ancient Kemet.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy, I remember one night I was watching a history channel, and they was going to her temple. And in her temple, no, they couldn't find her. They never found her body. But when they went into the temple, they had two tombs there. And what Spirit showed me while I was watching it, because you know they used to use a lot of resin back then, that her and her husband was buried in the resin. That's why they couldn't see the bodies. And it was like I was getting glimpses of being in ancient Kemet back then. And then this is me. Of course, y'all know I'm crazy. I told Jack, I said, do you know why they can't find nobody? Because I buried it under the goddamn resin. I said, it's under the resin, right? So he started laughing. So I said, yeah. I said, trust me, I know I'm the embodiment of Queen Hepzetra. But all jokes aside, when I researched her story, it was similar to mine.
Listen. Whoo! You gonna mess around and make me let the damn rabbit out the hat, man. You gonna make me look. You know what? Fuck it. So I have to say it now. We're talking about rabbits and rabbits, and then there was a major part in that movie, The Matrix, where the white rabbit was on the I think it was the lady's neck, and then it kind of disappeared and it went away, and then that's when Neo knew instead of staying in home working that night, he had to go ahead and go out because he knew that he had to follow the white rabbit because that was going to lead him to wherever he was supposed to go to find his destiny. So I say all that to say we got a major component from the Matrix franchise that'll be here Friday, family. I teased y'all a little bit last week and let you know we had something big bubbling in the pot. So now it's official. We got it cooking like gumbo and marinating. We will have a huge show this Friday at 8 p.m. with a major component of one of my favorite movies of all time, Hollywood blockbuster, internationally global movement of the Matrix series. We'll be here in the building Friday. I ain't gonna tell y'all who just yet, but I'm gonna let you know it is tied to the Matrix, man. And it's funny because when we talk about Kemet, though, this is what I had on before we came on the show. I don't know if y'all can see it, but the light's too bright. There it is. Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it a little bit. Oh yeah, that's what I drew. That's exactly what I drew.
Before we came on, that's what I was rocking today. When I was out and about, I had my King Tut on, man. I got it in like a few different colors. I actually sell those shirts, family. So if anybody's interested in getting y'all a nice Kemetic King Tut t-shirt, I'll be putting them on the website soon, but I could definitely make custom orders as well. But yeah, that's what I was wearing all day today. And then I jumped into the Goon for the pod. But I've been the same way. I was drawn to Kemet from the time I can remember. And it's funny that you share what you shared with me in the beginning of the show, because that solidifies a lot of the feelings I've had about Kemet. I always knew from the time that I can remember as a child, if I ever could find or locate anything that had to do with King Tut, I knew I was home. And that's from the time I'm talking about as far as I can remember. So when I first learned of King Tut and I first saw the bus with the picture that I just shared, I knew that, okay, wherever that's at, that's home. Because clearly, like you said, it came with me into this life, from who knows how many lifetimes ago. But yeah, Kemet is definitely a mainstay in my life. Always has been, always will be. But it makes sense now what you just told me. So that makes perfect sense.
Well, and I'll tell you another thing too. Back then, as well as you were high priestess, you were a king as well. You was a king. You was a king as well. I keep saying you was a king, and it's sort of like you did your priesthood in the back, but you was a very powerful king as well. So you did both.
I say that makes sense. Look, that's where I prefer to be. I prefer to be in the back, like for real.
Well, but they knew that you was a priestess too, but you also ruled. You ruled during that dynasty. Wow. Why they show me the second dynasty? It was a time, and let me get it right. It was a time you ruled when there was Ramesses II. Ramesses II, you was a king and you ruled. You was very powerful. Yeah.
I say. Oh, look, yeah, I got to set this past life regression. Look, what can you book me for this, man? Because I got to get I need the whole session on that one.
Yeah, we got it. Let me see. This is what the Bible gave me. He gave me this. He crowned me as King Hepzetra. Oh, can you see it?
Wow, that's dope. Yeah, I see the cobra. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to see. I know it's official.
Yeah, I got to clean it. Yeah, this is what he gave me. And then I have a whole Kemetic shrine set up. This is one of the heads I have. You see it?
Yeah, yes, sir. Listen, look, I almost want to go get mine. I got
You got two earrings in your ear?
No, I had one, but listen, but being a ball player, look, the very first time I played ball, I got fouled going to the rack. Boy, somebody fouled me and ripped that thing out. I said, yep, that's it. I never put another one back in because I played too much ball.
But you want to see what's crazy? You see how your bearders? Remember they start wearing these beards?
Yeah,
If y'all look at the statue, you got 2 earrings in his ear. Now think about it. Where do you think all the young boys now that got these little pointy beards like y'all got and the earrings came from? This is ancient Kemet. Look
yeah,
at that.
yeah. All across the pyramid walls, man, and the hieroglyphs. You see nothing but our culture. Everything
Right,
that we are now or that we doing now, we was doing there. You know,
right.
it's in the genetics, it's in the DNA, it's in the bloodline.
Well, you still got people that's learning, so you teach that because they need to know.
Oh yeah.
Because and actually the energy of the ancient ones is very, very powerful here in Georgia.
Yes.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen King, and again, y'all know I'm gonna say I don't give a goddamn if y'all think I'm crazy, but I seen the energy and I seen spirits of ancient ones walking on this land in Georgia. And y'all got to remember, Georgia was connected to Africa at one time, like a puzzle. It fits like a puzzle. So I seen them. I seen Greek and spirits on this land called Georgia. Yep. So there's a lot of ancient energy, and it's not a coincidence that a lot of us that are spiritual are migrating back to Georgia because at one time I really believe, and as a matter of fact, they did find pyramids here in Georgia. They got a lot of mounds. They found statues like they have in what do you call Cairo? Okay,
This
here in
this
Georgia.
This is Kemet. This is the real Kemet. You know,
Exactly.
I've heard it for a while, and
Mhm.
I didn't have the research or the, you know, one thing about me, like I said, I don't claim to know everything or that to do anything or be anything, you know, above anybody else. But I know what the hell I know, and I know
Mhm.
what I research. I know what I study, but I also know, like I said, when it comes to those messages, those I want those download those them ancestral intelligences. When
Uh-huh.
those communicate with me, there's not a shadow of a doubt that I know it's on point and it's accurate. So
Mhm.
I say all that to say, upon research, I never found no research that tied, you know, the Americans to being the ancient, you know, Kemet. But now, with all this information coming out, I'm being bombarded by a lot of information that's starting to make me think otherwise because there's so many different ways that you can see, you know, from Memphis, you know, Memphis,
Mhm.
Tennessee. When you talk, you know, what I'm saying there's so many the Mississippi River being the actual Nile, you know, what I'm saying Nile River. There's a lot of different components to that. So it's a lot of things that to me is swaying me in the direction that because I've flown over the Grand Canyon before a few times, went out to the West Coast, like to Vegas. And when
Mhm.
I tell you I felt a magnetic pull that I can't describe, like because I can't wait till the next time I do because I wasn't where I am spiritually, but you know, I wasn't
Right.
where I am spiritually now back then.
Mhm.
But man,
Mhm.
when I tell you like that, the energy that you're talking about flying over a portal or a vortex like
Mhm.
that. So just that alone and seeing it in real life, that
Mhm.
is a huge, massive body of land. I
Right.
mean, it is
Right.
huge. And so to me, there's no way that could not have been an ancient, you know what I'm saying, like monumental civilization. And what you just told me and revealed to me with the ancestral memories that I know that I feel, yeah, you can't tell me shit when it comes about what what's
Mhm.
happened here and anything that has to do with Kemet. So yeah, I would dare to say that I believe this is the actual real Kemet
Well,
right here.
go Google and go look up the exotic map. If you look at the exotic map, on the map it says that Georgia was Egypt. It says Egypt. And then I believe it was Mississippi that was called Cairo. Look up,
Mm,
it's called the exotic map. Look it up and you'll see it. You'll see it.
I'm looking. There's a bunch of different links, so I
Yeah.
want to put the right
It's
one.
called
But
the exotic map and look on the map and it'll show you. If you pull it up, it'll say Egypt, which
mm,
Georgia, where Georgia's at. Again, I think Mississippi was Cairo, if I'm not mistaken, but I know it said Georgia was Egypt.
mm. Yeah, I believe it. I
Right,
believe that this is the real ancient Kemet. Honestly, at this point,
right,
and
right.
then before, and honestly, I don't even know if a year ago I would have said that, but the fact that how much information that I've acquired and how much that you know I know is credible, reputable information, I do strongly feel like there's a strong argument to be made that the Americas is the original, you know, ancient Kemet. That's where the knowledge and the you know information is leading me to believe. So yeah, I got to do my
And you
own
got to
research.
remember, before the continental drift, I mean, or after the continental, everything got spread apart. I think it was a whole one land mass. Everything was together. You know what I mean? I really do. So we got to realize. somebody said being born in Boston, growing up in Brooklyn and Alabama, 22 years in the Army. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just reading Emperor of Truth.
No. I didn't mean to interrupt by sharing, but I did want to share it because I saw what he said. It was powerful too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I shared it. Shout out to Emperor of Truth too. Matter of fact, I hit you. Everybody who I know I was supposed to get it with the emails. I believe I hit everybody back today. Brother Muhammad, everybody who I knew I was behind with, I believe I got all of y'all responded to today. So you too, Brother Emperor True. But I appreciate you, bro. But yeah, no, that's a real thing. And I got questions too that I start, for when we wrap up, because I know we said we weren't gonna go as long tonight, being that we both been running on fumes. But yeah, man. But
Questions.
yeah, it's always real when we get with the tribe. So we did have another family member say that they lost a few weeks ago too. Yeah, unfortunately, I did too, bro. So I feel you on that. My condolences to you and your family for your loss.
Cosmic K. Oh yeah, condolences.
Mm-hmm.
But she's an ancestor now. Make sure you pour libations to rise her up in peace.
I sure.
Yes,
yep. But yeah, so okay, so we jumped around. We hit a lot of dope stuff as we always do, especially with the modern center spirits. You gave a dope breakdown for those who missed it. You'll definitely be able to catch it on the replay. And we could probably maybe tap into it a little bit before we wrap it up. But how much longer you want to go for?
However long you want to go, as long as we don't nod off on this camera, because if you see me nodding off, it's time to go.
Listen, I got you. I'm wide awake now, so I'm good.
Me too. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely can roll that. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get through some of these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna get to some questions before we get up out of here. No, I haven't seen Animatrix Cosmic K. I gotta check that out. The Love is Chanel. Nah, it's not Keanu Reeves coming. Arguably, I would say it's better. Actually, no, it's better than Keanu.
It's better,
I can emphatically say the person that's going to be here from the Matrix is emphatically better than Keanu. No shade to Keanu. I rock with Keanu. I think he's a dope actor. I rock with him. So yeah, but who's coming on the show, I feel like it's even better than that, honestly. Now don't get it twisted. I love to have Keanu on this thing. He want to come through too, but this person is even more is even more prolific in regards to the franchise than Keanu. So I'll share it with y'all tomorrow, because I told the private community I will share with them first. I want to make sure I keep my word on that, but then I'll share it with the rest of y'all tribe. But we're gonna have a dope show this Friday, 8 p.m. with a very major component to the Matrix franchise and blockbuster, internationally known blockbuster film. So, but with that being said, I'm gonna jump to a couple of these questions. Shout out to Lady Night Walker again for the super chat. Appreciate you. I started that one. Shout out to Mama Teresa. Said May 12th, 2026, Donald Trump paused a speech at the White House Rose Garden when he was startled by the sound of birds flying overhead and chirping, momentarily mistaking them for a drone strike.
That's funny. That's funny. That's what you get.
Look, that is the epitome and definition of F around and find out, right there.
Yeah, if his ass wasn't so crazy, he wouldn't have got scared. That's what you get.
F around and find out, boy. Don't play with them mothers, man. I don't care who you is. Don't play with the mothers, man. For real. Please don't do that. Please. Speaking of which, yeah, I don't know if this is something I can say on here. Hopefully, but that video, I remember a video we saw in class a while ago where I can't remember if it was a woman that transformed into a bird or a bird that transformed into a woman.
It was a woman who transformed into a bird.
Would you be able to send me that by any chance?
I saw it.
I won't share it publicly either. I won't share it publicly. I just want to see it again because I saw something online the other day that I thought was real. And I know how much of this AI foolishness they got. And matter of fact, if I can find it again, I'm going to send it to you to see what you think. Because I might have sent it to you. I know I sent you one before. It was a while back that I thought was real. I can't remember what you said on that one. But I saw another one, and this one looked real to me. So I'm like, yo, I got to get that to you. I got to find it again and send it to you. Because I know it is real because of the one you showed me. So that's why I wanted to see that one again. So when I see these other ones, you know what I'm saying, I could determine whether or not if it's really real or not. But that's a real thing. So real quick, before we even get into the questions, and thanks again, Mama Teresa, for sharing that. Not just that comment, but the other two to help me to diagnose the UFO comment that I had put out there. But the seriousness and the authenticity of the mothers, can you kind of share? Because I don't know if we really ever talked about shape shifting in a a light that wasn't negative, like reptilians and all the other demonic, dark, evil shit. But is it possible for you to share a little bit with us about like how powerful the mothers are and that they really can transform
Yeah,
into
it's
birds and from
real.
birds to humans and from humans into? Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, yeah, it happens. It's very common in Africa. But I've also heard, if you all know the story of Toussaint Overture in
Yes,
Haiti.
I do.
Remember the story about him when
Hmm.
they tried to get? First of all, they poisoned the French, but then when they tried to catch him, he turned into a bird, and they couldn't find him. He was up in a tree. You all remember the story?
I didn't know that. No, I
Yeah.
never heard that story.
Yeah, he turned into a bird. When they tried to catch him, they was running after them because they found out they poisoned them, and then he turned into a bird and flew off. And they actually seen it. It was a whole story about it back then. But I'm saying that to say there's certain powers in Africa that people only think they see on the superhero movies that really do exist. And there's certain medicines that you can take that will allow you to change into a bird or an animal. Very powerful. Okay. Um, it's real, it's realer than real. And like I say all the time, Africa has something for your behind. You think it's on TV, but it's really real. And there's certain different things you have to do. Some of the stuff is sacred, you can't talk about for the most part. The basics of it is they can take medicines that will make you turn into a certain animal, right? So, um, and sometimes it takes years and years and years and years of being able to deal with tradition, being in the bush, different things that will actually allow you to have that gift or that ability. You know what I mean? They put certain, like, sometimes you put medicines in the body.
Hmm.
Like we have medicines we put in the body to make you stronger,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah,
So we got medicines we put in the body so people can't poison you.
yeah,
It's stuff like that.
yeah,
And it happens in various tribes.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
But
real. They don't believe a lot of stuff now is AI, but some of this stuff is real. You have to go to Africa to see it.
or get with a practitioner that has the connections and the
You have
resources.
to have to right.
Yeah, because I
But
mean,
yeah.
you listen. I've look. I was humbly speaking, but speaking with authority. I was heavily equipped with very very powerful not just teachers, but spiritual, teachers, healers, leaders, elders that I learned from. But then when I met you, who we kind of met through, shout out to
Mhm,
Baba Tolu, you know what I'm saying? The Balogun Shango, like he
mhm,
powerful in his own right too. But so it's like, the historical spiritual lineage that I come from. So it's like, and here in the States, there is nobody that I know that has the resume that Oyo Tunji has, you know what I'm saying, here in America when it comes to the or Yoruba tradition, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
So it's like, and then the power that you have and access to the powerful forces that you have on top of that is like, it's crazy. But I've learned so much and seen so much of how real this stuff is. And so for people who are brand new on your spiritual journey, a lot of it might sound far-fetched. It might sound like make-believe. It might sound like, who knows? And I can see how and why, but when you've seen these things and you've experienced these things happening in real time in your real life, and that is real, it takes everything to a whole nother perspective. So for me, I know, like, seeing some of the things I've seen and experienced some of the things I've experienced, but with the work that we've done, it's a real
mhm.
thing. It sounds crazy as hell, but it's real.
And let me tell y'all something. I always say I don't give a goddamn what people believe. See it for
Yeah,
yourself. But let
yeah.
me tell you something. I just started dealing with Europe about 7 years ago.
Mm,
But I was born into a tradition we call ours flutista, and then I
mm,
was also initiated with a tribe in northern Ghana, the Fafa tribe, which is known as what they call a Tindana. Now the Fafa tribe is very sacred. It's more sacred. We don't put our stuff online. We don't do, you don't show your initiations online that they do in Ifa. But that tribe is very, very powerful. And what's crazy about that tribe is they chose me. I didn't choose them. They chose me, right? And when they chose me, when I learned about this tribe, they were so powerful. It's sort of like in Europe they call them the Yami Osaranga.
mm-hmm,
So and that in the Fafa tribe and I'm a Tendana, but I'm also what they call a Jinwata, which is equivalent to a Yami Osaranga. Very, very powerful. And I'm saying that to say I've had people that have come to me, and even the elders in the bush and the Farfar tribe are very, very powerful. They have the ability, and I have this ability too. I've done it in person, but some people want you to prove it, and I'm not into proving nothing. But if you're around me, I can do it. To call spirit animals, right? So I'll sit there, like I had one young lady and she needed help and we was doing ritual work. I clap my hands and I'll call on my lions. I want my lions to come. Call on my spirit lions. You hear them. You sitting there, you'll hear them growl. You will hear the spirit lions growl, right? People bug out. That's just one thing. I'm calling the spirits. I had another thing where my daughter used to get up early in the morning. And when she would get up early in the morning, I didn't like the fact it was still dark. So I would put two panthers to walk with her, right? So every time she would get up, I would call my panthers, clap my hands. I need y'all to walk her to the car. So one morning, she seen them. Now my daughter's very spiritual like me. Both of them are little witches too. No, I don't like to use the word witch, but daughters of the mothers. So she said, Ma, she said, I seen two big black cats running towards me. She said, I thought I was seeing things. I said, yeah. I said, I call them every morning so they can protect you. Right? So that's just one thing. That's light stuff. That's light stuff. Okay. We have the ability also too, if I want to call the birds, I can call the birds and they'll come. Okay. That's just one thing. But if you want to talk about the shape shifting, that gets a little bit more deeper into different things you have to train to do. You have to take medicines. You got to get medicines in your body to be able to have that ability. But there's even more. Y'all need to go to Africa. That's all I'm going to say. You want to see this? You need to hook up with some practitioners and go to Africa. Stuff will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. And then I'm going to tell y'all this too. Now, the country of Africa that I come from, Cabo Verde, is surrounded by nothing but the Atlantic Ocean. So we have mostly sea. So as I told y'all, some of y'all know that it was a story that the women were half mermaid and half human. So a lot of times when your legs are cold, they say that you're a mermaid. Your feet are cold. Or I feel certain things in my back. Like it was funny the other day, y'all. A dinker look. Orisa Dinker said, "You started to scare me now." I said I was cooking and I felt like I start transforming into an animal. He said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I can feel it down my spine." He said, "You scared me now." Huh?
Look,
With the back.
look,
When I
I
told
think
my
I can
friend
see the
about
look on his
it,
face when he said it too.
come here. Yeah, you see that? Look at his face.
I can see the look on his face in my mind. I can see it in my mind with how he looks.
Go ahead.
What happened? What's she talking about?
When she was telling you that she was cooking and she was feeling like she was transforming into an animal, you was like, all right, now look, you start to scare me a little bit.
I say I'm gonna run up out of here. Turn it to a damn animal.
Listen,
Yeah.
oh man, listen.
I said I felt like I'm tripping like my spine, So he started getting scared, but I was messing with him now, you know. But
Look,
yeah, y'all gotta go to Africa. They got some stuff in Africa that a lot of times the Haitian brothers and sisters talk about how they could bring the dead back, but y'all ain't seen nothing. Y'all ain't seen nothing till you've been to Africa.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's real, man. Like I said, I wasn't privy to seeing those types of well, I saw some stuff. I put it like that. While I was there, I definitely felt and experienced some stuff. I didn't see any of the transformations that I know of, but I saw some stuff, and I think one of the most significant and profound experiences that I had was actually the day, I think it was day 1 or day 2 on my journey into E5. Actually, I think it was day 1 and 2. Man, when I tell you the storms that was there were so powerful, you talk about being in a movie. Like, I don't even know if I seen a movie where it was storming the way this was. Now, mind you, this was in March. They don't get storms that early. They told us that was the first time that it rained all year. That, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't just it was like a storm. I'm from Florida. We get storms. Like, we get storms. But when I tell you this storm was like we talking about X-Men, the character storm. All I can
Wow.
think about is yeah. Like, yo, I appreciate you, mama. Like, hey, because it was just like it was powerful. And I shared that. Like, for those who are new to the channel, you probably haven't seen those shows. But for those who've been rocking with us for maybe like the last 2 years or so, you probably seen them shows where I talked about that several times because it was just so real to me, surreal to me how powerful those storms was. So that was one of the most prolific things I think I saw, but there was a lot of other stuff too. But man,
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. You say that now in the Fafa tribe. There's an elder woman, and she is very respected. She's old. She about maybe in her 80s. Her name is Fatumata.
mm-hmm.
She's one of our elders, and she got mad, very angry. And when that woman got angry, I don't know what she. I think somebody disrespected did something. Do you know that it started raining and the trees? Do you think the trees go crazy when I tell you when I open that window? That woman, she was an elder too. And you know, them elders got wisdom and they got, maturity and spiritual wisdom. She was so mad, everything. It started raining, the trees start moving. It was crazy. That's the power she carried. Yes. She was very connected.
Man, people think I be playing when I say I don't mess with y'all. Like, I don't mess with black women. Like, for real. Look, my mom's did a good enough job with me. All it took was her alone. 'Cause look, my mom is Oya. I ain't did the work to find out, but I don't need to because I know, like, she is Oya, like, through and through, buddy. So it's like I knew from the time I was out the womb, I remember knowing, like, yeah, you just don't mess with that kind of power, bro. Because she, like you said, when you get mad, man,
Yeah.
listen, that ain't even nothing to play with, like, for real, because nope, I'm good. So yeah.
That's what they say, with the especially Yami Osaranga. Don't my son, you'll say he say, you don't want to see her what he said, you don't want to see her red eyes. Don't
No,
make her mad, right? Yeah,
no.
yeah. But
Nope.
all women, mostly women of color, have a natural power with them, right? It's
Mhm.
natural for us.
Yeah.
We're connected. So, every woman has the essence of the Iyami.
Yeah.
Some may have it a little bit more stronger, some don't, but most women have essence of the Iyami
Mm,
connected to the mothers.
mm.
If you all notice, men especially, and a lot of men get this, she tell you, don't go there, I don't feel right, don't do this, don't do that, and you
All
don't listen, and then
that.
something happen. That's common with women. They have that natural intuition, and if they say something is gonna happen and it happens, it's just like a woman's. It's like the woman's thing, her right. You know what I mean? Be careful, because a lot of women have the power.
Divinity.
Right? You know, don't do that. I told you, okay, this is gonna happen. You're gonna fall. You're gonna have it, and then what happens? You fall. This happens. You know what I mean? So most women have that.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's powerful. And look, I know for a fact, because even like being young, like, hey, mama, I go play ball over there, at the park, and then mess around, be trying to ride bicycles at some little girl house, something, and come home, and your ass wasn't at the park. Where was you at? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It wasn't no
Uh-huh.
phone with no GPS and no tracking. It wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? But that's a real thing. Like, and they were call to a T, like where you was at. Like, okay, damn well you wasn't at no part where you supposed to be playing. You was over da. And it's like, oh, okay. So,
Right.
and as a child, you're so stupid. You sitting there thinking you could lie. And like you going, what I'm saying, it's gonna work. Like, nah, it don't work like that. You can't get nothing past no elder. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The
that's real.
elders, they know, and as you get older, you get more wiser.
Yes. The gifts
Yep.
get stronger, the signals get clearer, you know what I'm saying? Like all the
Uh-huh.
it's a real thing, man. Like for real, for real.
Yeah, that's why they say in Africa that when you get older, you become closer to the spiritual realm, and babies are closer to the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we had a baby today. I got a call. That's why I didn't get no sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I had a young man that called me. Beautiful young brother. I've been with his journey since he was locked up and came out and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a baby. Now they told the girl that the baby didn't have no kidneys. Number one. Now, what's crazy, I wasn't going to answer the phone because I was tired as hell. I just wanted to sleep at 9 o'clock this morning. So when he called back to back, I said, okay, something not right. Let me answer the call. I hadn't heard from him in a while. He said he's about to have his baby. She's 9 centimeters. So they're at, of course, a university hospital, which y'all ladies got to be careful of having your babies at these university hospitals.
Any
So,
hospital.
right. So baby's born. And he takes the camera, he shows me the baby. And she's gasping for air. And I'm looking, I said, I said, call the nurse over here. I said, why is she gasping for air? They're putting the baby on the mother's chest. First of all, it's not skin to skin. So I'm watching the baby. I said, no. I said, tell them to give the baby some oxygen. So the nurse is standing there taking a little sweet time. And mind you, I'm just waking up, y'all. I'm mad. I'm ready to, come into the hospital. I'm not close, but I really want to if I could. But I said, put the nurse on the phone. I said, the baby's gasping for air. Why you not giving the baby oxygen? She just came out of the mother. Now, if a baby has a complication, soon as they come out, you got the team running in there, right? You got a whole team running in there to take care of that baby, right? So I'm watching this poor little baby. First of all, Spirit showed me she had kidneys. Second of all, they was too lackadaisy for me. So when I told him, I said, because they're young. He's young, you know, a little ghetto fied, don't know how to talk, but I don't give a goddamn, right?
Right.
So I said, you can't talk, I'm going to talk for you.
Right.
I said, you tell them they better attend to that baby right now. I said, because you need to call the administrator of the hospital. Now, when you tell them that, they're going to get scared.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not attending to this baby? Get to that baby right now. There's a reason she's gasping for air. She can't breathe. So they did put the oxygen on her, but they wasn't moving fast enough for me. So I'm texting them. I said, look, don't be afraid. They were sort of afraid to say
Yeah.
something
Tighten
because
up.
they're thinking,
Yeah,
right.
no. The hell with that. Get somebody over here and take care of my child.
I told him, I said, I'll text you what to say. If you don't want me to call the administrator, I'll text you what to say. But you
Mm-hmm.
ask every question and you make sure that they do what they have to do for that baby. Because Spirit showed me that while I'm looking at the baby, I'm reading her little spirit. She's struggling, and she's supposed to be here. She's going to live. But y'all got to help her. She can't breathe. And I couldn't understand why they wasn't rushing to do that. They just, so I told the mother, I said, take the baby out the blanket, put it on your skin. I said, skin to skin. So she did that, and then she was a little bit better. Then they put the oxygen on her. But I got so angry because I felt like they didn't care about the baby.
They don't. I hate to say it, but they probably were. They did that intentionally, or they wasn't no sense of urgency because they wanted the baby to transition so they could use them organs and they could use, what I'm saying, that
Yeah.
adrenochrome. Like, I mean, this is where we are. Like, it's crazy, but it's real. They literally are eating the organs of children and drinking the blood. Like the shit you see in movies, this is real. They really doing this. I don't know how many of y'all, I didn't even go into them files because I didn't need to see the files and know what they're doing. Like I know what they're doing because I feel it, I see it through spirit, but also I've read it, I've studied it, researched. But that's really what we're dealing with right now. So it's like, yes, they probably would prefer that the baby transition so they could do whatever damn dark, devilish, nefarious,
No, they better be careful because not over my goddamn watch. And I ain't even trying to be funny, but he called me. And when they call me like that, it's like, for me, it's like, Spirit has used them to call me. That's the
Yes.
second, that's probably the third baby I done saved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, spiritually being in the hospital. And the point is, their doing is going to be their very own undoing. They better stop. If the mothers wasn't over the White House for nothing and they ain't seen nothing yet. If they do not stop messing with the babies and doing that evil shit that they're doing, excuse my language, y'all, they going to see. That's why we getting ready to see an influx of weather, tornadoes. Hurricane season is going to be bad this year. I told everybody a couple of weeks ago, right? I did the predictions. I said Mississippi is going to get hit by tornadoes. And you know why? Because when they hung that young boy and cut his body to pieces and had him all spread in Mississippi, they had to get hit. They ain't seen nothing yet. Mississippi got hit bad with tornadoes last week. They ain't seen nothing yet. They keep messing with these babies. It's about to be bad for them. It's about to be bad. You're gonna take some innocent children. You ain't create them. How you gonna think you're gonna take them? I don't like it. It pisses me off. And what makes me angry is that enough of us need to start raising our voices. I'll tell you what. A lot of people are afraid to talk on platforms and stuff like this because they're afraid what's going. But let's guess what? Start chanting their asses down. Chant them down. Go outside and chant down. Go outside and call on the mothers. Tell the mothers to rise up. Call on every goddamn mother from the universe to the earth to the sea to shut them down from all the evil shit that they do. Because it's not right. And especially you taking ours, though. You're doing that to the black babies. Well, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so far, because while he was in there, I'm calling on the spirits. I'm calling on spirits. I'm calling on this one. Save that baby. Save the baby. Protect her, right? If anything goes down, make something happen. I'm calling on all kind of spirits. And so far, she's good. He didn't call me back with no bad news, so she must be good. And then actually, I forgot, we did hit up all my students, and we had all of them calling on the spirits too. So we had a whole bunch of people calling on the spirits to save her. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. And hold on, I meant to bring this one up. Shout out to Harmony0913 says she's gonna be getting a divination from you soon, or consultation soon. So I gotta share that. Bobby, can you send me the link again, man? I know I gotta put it in my notes, like my auto stuff where I could just copy and paste it. That way I ain't gotta keep asking again. But I want to share your link to the tribe again on the stream, so that way I can have it. Of course, I put it in the description, but I want to put it on the live stream too. But yeah, so I wanted to share that comment about her with the divination. Damn it, there was a thought that I had though before I had where was we at? We was talking about the mothers and okay, yeah, I'm glad that you said that because I had a client actually who I gotta call her tomorrow, but she's not that long. She ain't been with me that long. But long story short, she has some stuff going on with her family and involve children. So I'm the same way with you. Like that's one thing I don't play with. Don't mess with children, elderly, people with special abilities, or you know what I'm saying, just people who are defenseless because you're targeting in a predatory way because you feel like you have the upper hand. You know what I mean? But you don't understand. It may appear that you have the upper hand, but you have no idea who accompanies or what accompanies that child or whoever, you know what I'm saying, that you fucking with. And I remember being in, and this is a story that happened in real time. I was in a grocery store and I remember checking out, and it was a young sister. She probably might have been, I'll say between 17 and 19. And the dude was just nasty. He had a real nasty attitude, just a real nasty disposition. Like he was just talking to her like she wasn't nothing, like she wasn't shit, like she was just trash. And I looked at him, and I'm like, bro, like you need to chill, bro. Like what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? You don't talk to people like that, man. I went in on him, and it was the funniest thing ever because the young sister, she never broke face, but I know for a fact she was probably doing the Louis Farrakhan face. Like, boy, I'm so glad he got his bitch ass together for me because she wasn't no punk. Like I could see it in her eyes. She looked like she wanted to jump across the register and knock him out. But she got to keep a job. She's doing. I was proud of her because she did not break character. Like she was professional. She just ignored him. But I couldn't ignore it. I had to check him. Yeah. And so, but it's like he had no idea somebody was there that could stand up for her. But he was comfortable, you know what I'm saying, talking down and talking to her like she wasn't nothing because he felt empowered to do that. But then when I checked him, like, man, I'll fuck you up. like no, you don't talk, da-da-da-da. But long story short, you don't know who you're dealing with when you're dealing with preying on people like that. And so this organization and corporation has been doing that to a people that they do not know who and what these people, some of them do, but for the most part, they don't know who and what these people are connected to and who's actually riding and rocking for these people. So I say all that to say that is a huge sign for me, seeing this right here over that place right there, based upon all the things that we spoke about tonight, the atrocities and all the things that's happening, and people aren't standing on business or aren't speaking up about it or doing anything about it. So it's like to see that's a telltale sign. Those who know, who tapped in like that, what time it is. Like that's not a coincidence. Like that's this is our shit, and we here to take it, and y'all can get the hell up out of here. That's what that's telling me. Right. Just like the UFOs did, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I think Mama Teresa for sharing the the information on them UFOs. I wasn't exaggerating. I've been studying this stuff since I can remember, and I got receipts. I got a library of books with and all types of research about a lot of these things that's happening. So it's like, this is not a game. Like, this is really the fifth dimension. Welcome to the fifth dimension of ascension, because that's where we are now. So
some
hey,
of us, because some of us are still stuck on the damn third dimension,
yeah,
and we done
yeah,
lost our mind. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yeah, yeah,
lost your mind. You be like, you better. But everybody's going through their transformation. Yeah, like I always say, every second, every minute, and hour. But for the most part, we in the fifth dimension. But some of them are still stuck down there in that
yeah,
dimension.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But we got a lot of people waking up and coming. They a lot of
yeah, a
people
lot of people.
rising.
Yeah.
So okay, let me get a couple more questions real quick, 'cause I know it's getting late, and I know who's on the timeline. Let me see. There's a couple good ones. For some reason, I can't find all of them. Well, here's one of them. I have more. Maximum Rising said, "Do you work with dragons? I was introduced to a black one by my ancestors, but my ancestors weren't ready. I know who it was, and I'm curious to know, did my great auntie work with dragons?"
Did your great auntie work with dragons? I don't work with dragons. No, I don't. However, did your great auntie work with dragons? I do see that you had a great aunt that was into witchcraft, and she had. It looks like she had a lot of dragon statues around her. I don't know if that's true, but it's confirmed if it is. But I see like dragon statues. She used to keep dragon statues. So yes, she did work with the energy of dragons.
Hmm. Wow. I say.
Yeah.
Hmm. All right. And Maximum Rise also want to know about the book, how the book was coming along, the new book.
Which one? The kids' book, the children's book.
I can't remember. I remember we did speak about it though. I want to say the last episode, if not the last one, the one before that, you was working on one. I can't remember.
Oh, I got. Unless you talk about this is the one late, and it's crazy. Lately, a lot of people been ordering this, and you're right. People are waking up because I have a lot of the information about repetitive numbers and UFOs in here. Right. This is the Cosmic Oracle. So this one is on Amazon. Y'all could get this one, the Cosmic Oracle. I seen, I heard, I know. I talk about the aliens. I talk about the repetitive numbers, the dreams. I talk about some of the basics of African traditions in this book. This is the one for the children, teaching the children how to set up an ancestral altar. If y'all can't see it, let me see if I can show y'all.
No, we can see it.
You
I
can see
mean,
it?
yeah, the background fading a little bit in and out, but we definitely can see it though. I can see it.
Okay. Let me see.
So I'm sure they'll try it. And as a matter of fact, I believe I got the might have the book cover somewhere.
Okay, this one is right here. This is the ancestral love, Neanderthal, teaching the children how to set up altars because every culture has their children into their traditions. Chinese, Indians, Mexicans, their kids know about ancestral altars and set hours. So this is for the children. And this is the Cosmic Oracle. Now I'm still working on my book, the mermaid book, The Secrets of the Mer Women in
That's
Africa.
the one. That's the one. Because now
Okay,
I
yeah, I'm
remember.
still working
Now
on
we
that.
can say, okay, that's the one. I know for a fact, whoever that was that asked the question, I know we're on the same page. I know that's the one you was asking about. Because I
Yeah,
couldn't.
that one.
Oh, Maximum Rising.
The manuscript is right here. It's right here, y'all.
That's dope. Hold on, let me highlight.
So this is the manuscript of this book.
Yes, sir. I can't wait till that come out. Yeah,
The
Maximum
Doors of
Rising.
the Atlantic.
So
The
you see,
Sacred Mer Women of Cabo Verde and their ancient powers.
whew, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one myself. Yes, sir.
And those right there are, this is real stories. Growing up and being a part of the culture, as I said, the story was that the women were half mermaid and half human.
Mm,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, no, I can't wait to see that one, man. Get that one. That one look powerful. I look just from the cover. It was dope.
Yeah, and we have another one coming out soon that I'm co-writing with Brother Dinkra called, that one is called where is it? Hold on. My mother's the devil, and my father's not too far behind.
Mm.
That one's gonna be a good one too.
Yeah, that's look. If
Yeah,
it has anything to do with a little bit of what I think it do, I know that's gonna be powerful.
yeah, that one's gonna be powerful. I'm co-writing that with him as well, and that one, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, real stories because
yeah,
we don't understand that your parents could have demons in them too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll
But
take some more questions.
we're gonna do a whole series on like a promo for that one.
Mm-hmm.
All of them, like for real. All right, I got a couple more. Yeah, family. Fontel Toyson. I'm gonna get yours up because I got like maybe one or two more that I gotta get out of
Okay.
here too. But because we did damn well. Considering. But yeah, she said, "What does the trumpet? What do the trumpet flower mean in witchcraft? Do you know about that one? Una?
The trumpet flower.
Yeah,
I don't know what the trumpet flower is.
it's something to do with witchcraft. Yeah, I don't. We don't really. Well, I can't
Is
speak
it?
for you.
Is it? Because when we say witchcraft, is it European witchcraft? Is it African witchcraft? I know in African, and we don't even call it witchcraft in Africa. It's
Right.
tradition, or
That's
cultural
right.
ways. But I don't know too much about the trumpet flower. You got to show me. Show me a picture.
Hmm. And if you can, Fontel, let me see if I can put my email in there real quick because, like I said, I'm gonna do probably like one more before we get out of here. But let me find that email. If you can find a picture or any type of
They put it in jars and shit like
I
that.
say use it a lot in hoodoo.
Yeah.
oh
So,
hoodoo.
Dinko said they use it in communicating with spirit. They use it a lot in hoodoo. They put it at the crossroads and stuff like that.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Uh,
Okay, so hopefully that was the answer for you,
That's right.
family. And if you have pictures, or you can email me to send me the pictures or whatever too. That can help us. But I think that might be good as far as that. And let me see if there's any more. There's a couple more, but I'm gonna do.
Maximum Rising said that's definitely the mom I chose. She is the devil.
Mm, yes, I hate dealing
Maximum
with that.
Rising, what I see with your mother, she just has a lot of emotional distress, and your mother got a lot of anger from whatever she's been through. I don't know if she had bad relationships or what, but what I'm seeing with your mother is that her energy is she's just miserable,
Mm,
and but being that she's miserable, she allows herself to get walkthroughs.
mm,
That's what I see with your mother.
mm. Um, I know what it was too when we was talking, and I got sidetracked. But this is the last one right here. I want to get your opinion on this, but it's more of a comment than a question. But what I was going through before we switched lanes was I was talking about because it was something about the protection. I remember one of my clients about maybe 7, 8 months ago. We had to do some work for her because she was dealing with a family member that it was a child that was some BS going on. So did the work, da da da. Haven't heard anything for a while. Like a week and a half ago, got a text. Everything went good. Went to court. Got what I'm saying. Got everything they needed to go their way. Everything went exactly how. And I was like, man, it's beautiful because that's one thing we don't never know. And we've talked about that before too. We don't know how. But if it comes up that whatever needs to be done, whatever prescription needs to be filled, and it gets taken care of, it's going to what I'm saying, manifest the way it's supposed to when everything's done in righteousness and Iwa Pueblo, with intent, good intentions and for positive purposes. But it's just powerful to get that feedback and those testimonials, of helping the people. Kind of like what you're saving the children. So it's like for those who, are brand new to this journey, this is a real thing. And it's a lot of real, healing, it's a lot of real protection, some powerful transformations that could be, manifested when we do things properly. So with that, Infinite
Lady,
Supreme Mother, huh? Go ahead.
go ahead. I'm listening. I was looking at what Lady Walker wrote
Oh,
about her
oh,
mom.
okay. Oh, I gotta go back to the live ones. I'm in the ones I start, but Infinite Supreme Mother says some of those blackbirds are drones. Excuse me. Around 15 years ago, one was following the car, and it was following every day. One day, it fell out of the sky when we were at a red light. The blackbird bounced off the car. Yeah, they got the technology to do that.
Yeah,
What do you see? Do you see anything attached to that?
not over the White House. I see those are real. There was all black birds.
Mm,
I see the mothers. The mothers are not playing. They're in many political places right now too. They're watching. They're
mm,
watching. But I still feel like something's gonna happen. Like I don't know. Like I said, a tornado or something gonna happen over there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, with that, well, you got anything you want to leave for the tribe? Because family, look, I got a long week ahead. I'll definitely be back. I'm thinking about probably tomorrow, but definitely I think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a long week. We're gonna be back, getting back on track, tribe. So I definitely keep them coming, but I just gotta kind of keep them a little shorter just so I can have the juice and the energy to keep them all coming. But you want to lead the tribe with anything before we get up out of here?
I sure will. Let me just answer Lady Walker because she said, well, I didn't get a chance to tell you, but you were right about my mom's health. She was diagnosed with CFH. Okay. All right. So take care of her. Make sure she take care of her. You take care of her, okay? I do want to leave with the child that we started out with monitoring spirits and we didn't get a chance to tell you people what to do because people can send monitoring spirits for you. But there's many things you could do. Spiritual work, cleansing your house, making sure you smoke out your house, okay? Keep your house clean, keep things orderly. If you get monitoring spirits, you want to make sure, like sometimes you get the ones that'll make you argue. Soon as you done, smoke out your house and do a good cleansing of your house. If you get some that are watching you, you need to wear protection. You need to do spiritual baths and protection. If you get the ones that are sent to watch you and watch your family, be careful with those too, because they can also cause problems. They can cause havoc in your life. So you should get a divination done to make sure that's what it is, because people do send monitoring spirits. But once you do, then you need to be able to handle it spiritually and physically. So I'm gonna leave the listening audience with that, and that's it.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe,
Right.
Ashe.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, definitely got prayers going up for you,
For her
Lady Walker.
mom.
Yeah, definitely, man. Listen, definitely be sending up prayers, for your mom, to the ancestors, and to the deities for sure.
Tell
So
Lady
with that,
Walker her mother needs to change her diet. Lady Walker, your mother needs to change her diet. You're gonna have to make her change her diet. Yeah. Spirit
sure,
said she'll be all right, but she got to do a whole lifestyle change with the way she eat, and she needs to drink some more water.
Ashe,
Okay. Ashe.
Ashe. And Late Night Walker, you got a strong support system, man. Between Wunam and myself, we definitely here to help in whatever way, shape,
Mm-hmm.
form, and capacity. So y'all already know. Shout out to the tribe, man. I saw somebody saying, matter of fact, I think it was Lady Walker, about how the tribe, we're gonna stick together. That's real, man. And shout out to, like, for real, everybody who's on here, that's been rocking with us, man. I really do. That's why I start every show with giving gratitude and thanks. I think there might have been, and I really do take note of this and pay attention to it, even when I get the chance to watch some of the shows again, just to kind of learn and study and see how we can get better. But I always start the show with giving gratitude and thanks, for the
Right.
tribe. Thanks to
Right.
the new subscribers, thanks to the channel members, thanks to the Patreon members, thanks to, everybody who's new, everybody been around with, because I truly do appreciate every single one of y'all. Like, for real, it's real. Like, that's not something to say just for rhetoric. Like, I rock with y'all. Like, I appreciate y'all. So that's why, when I saw that comment, I appreciate that, Lady Walker, because that's real. We do stick together and we do, we rock with each other. So it's a beautiful thing. It
That's
happened
right.
organically, and I feel like it's all
Yeah.
a tribute to the ancestors. Like, the
And I
ancestors
sure
have
be
been.
calling him for readings, goddamn it. I sure do.
Look,
Look
they don't
here.
know, but look, I'm proud and honored to be able to give them to you too, man. For real.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
for real, for real. I really am, because that, and that's one of the things, like, I don't take pride in boasting or bragging or nothing, but something like that I really am proud of. Like, I'm proud as hell, actually, to be able to do that work for you, because I know how much you do for me. And for the people who, what I'm saying, who I do work for, how we work together helping people. So it's like, for me to be able to, use my gifts
Right.
to give you, the same insight, and to return the favor to you, that means a lot to me. And it means a
Yeah.
lot to
Sure
everybody
do.
who, yeah. So
Calling each other. We work together, y'all. It doesn't matter. We all, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. This is my thing. There's enough money for everybody. So at the end of the day, the spiritual energy is so high right now. We both can't do it alone. There's so many people that's waking up. Trust
yes,
me, we need his school, my school, that school, that school. So
yeah,
we need a lot of people help. So trust me, we all work together. We
yeah.
definitely work together. And I'll call him in a New York minute. Look here, I need you to read this for me, my brother.
Look, that's real, man. Like, and I'm telling you, it's an honor and a pleasure, like, for real, because, like I said, it's gratitude to be able to do it. But the
Mhm.
other thing is because I know how much you do too, and I mean that, and I don't know how many people are on the call, but hopefully some of them will see it or not. But the people who I do work with for the tribe, like especially those who are healers or those who are doing anything in the arts or creative, I'm like, yo, you're gonna have to come on the show. Or at least you're gonna come in the Patreon, because look, I'm gonna open the door for you. I'm gonna throw, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you everything I can and see you go through and, you know, run it up, because that's what it's about. Like the people who be trying to hold you down and don't want to give you any information or any insight, or, you know, don't want to help you get ahead. You don't want to be around them kind of.
You don't want to be around them because they're selfish. They're selfish and they're goddamn greedy. That's what it is, and it's not right, because if you have the information, give it to the people. You know what I mean? You got to realize a lot of people have ego, and you know, you put your ego down, because like, look at the baby today. You know what I mean? I didn't even think about it, because I could have sent it to you and your tribe to pray for that baby too. You know what I mean? It's like, never mind all that. If we got the energy and the power to help, just like I said earlier, chant the goddamn chant it. Let's chant it down. Y'all tribe come out, our tribe come out. We're gonna chant it down, because y'all can't keep doing that to our babies. So we have to put all the ego aside, and you know, sometime in the community it gets like that. But for us, y'all, my brother right here, we don't do all that. We ain't doing all that. That's right. We support each other, we help each other, and we all look out for each other.
That's facts. And that's how it's supposed to be. And look, if you ain't rocking with that or like that, I don't want nothing to do with you, because like I said, I don't want to work with selfish people, greedy people, people with egos or think they're better. I don't want nothing to do with none of that, because that ain't how I roll. I don't want to roll with nobody. I ain't gonna roll with nobody who roll like that. So
we ain't got time for that. But real quick, let me just tell lady, I know you said that you're trying your best, and she's an elder, right? So elders are set in their way. So what you might have to do is kind of trick her, but go get a bag of popcorn, and I want you to go by a tree, and I want you to call on Oba Luaye, right? Oba Luaye. In the Hispanic pantheon, they call him Baba Luaye. In Africa, they call him Oba Luaye or Sampana. Call him Oba Luaye, put the popcorn by the tree, and ask them to protect your mother's health and to guide her. Call on the ancestors and tell on her, because I will tell my ancestors in the New York Minute. Guess what? She ain't doing this, Ma. She need to take care of herself. I tell her, my sister, all the time, Ma, you better take care of your daughter, because she ain't doing what she got to do. Tell on your mother, right? She want to be stubborn. That's all right. Go to the ancestors and tell on her, because I'm going to tell too, right? You don't want to listen to me? Well, I got something for you. I'm going, as a matter of fact, I'm going to your mother, right? If your grandmother's not here. So go tell on her, and then give an offering on her behalf, and ask Oba Luaye to help her, and you know, help her heal and do what she needs to do. But yeah, tell her ancestors on her.
I love it. Oh my God, I love that. Because listen, that's funny. That's something to laugh about off here. My whole family member, all my family know I'm a snitch. Like, I'll snitch on you in a heartbeat, boy. I'm telling you, like, for real, if you're doing something you know you ain't supposed to be doing, don't do it around me, because I will snitch. I tell my pops that. Like, look, I tell my mom's like, hey, don't do it around me, boy, because I'm a snitch on you now. I'm telling you, boy. Hey, and it's so funny that you say, that's why I laugh. I've been dry snitching for a long time to my grandmother, because I
I'm telling you. Don't listen to me.
I didn't even know. Because I'm like, I be telling her, like, boy, y'all need to cut all that bullshit, man, because you know if grandma was here, boy, if she lay here, she shut all that shit. Y'all know that, boy. Stop playing now. Man, listen.
Yeah, so Lady Walker, go tell on her. Okay?
Yes, yeah, man.
And the brother who said his mother is angry because her mom died. Teach her how to be able to talk to her mom. Maybe she'll be open enough to making a small ancestral altar. Most of them have it anyway. Most of y'all got altars in your house because you got pictures on your mantle, and that's an altar if relatives who have transitioned. So you know, just teach her. He can still talk. She can still talk to her mother. I'm telling y'all, I don't play when that. When it comes to the ancestors, I will tell on you. I will call them in the New York Minute when I'm cooking. If I want to know a certain dish we had in Africa, how I make this, right? Yeah, look, y'all better utilize them ancestors for your benefits.
Look, man, look. I think I still didn't get a chance to do my medicine yet. Like, I might be able to do it tonight. Look, if you think it's a good idea, since we talking about them, like, nah, it didn't fall in alignment, but it did tonight. So listen, if you think tonight's a good night, I might have to go ahead and do it.
You might be too tired. Don't do it tonight. You might be too tired. Okay. You might, because remember, when you're real tired, I don't know about you. Let me speak for myself. But when I'm too tired, I don't dream shit. I'm just in a deep sleep.
I'm awake there. I'm awake.
Yeah, because you might be too tired and you ain't gonna be able to talk with them if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been running hard too for like about a
Yeah.
month and a half. So yeah, you're right. I'm gonna wait there. I'm gonna wait. I'd probably do it this weekend. Then I'll do it this weekend. That way I can
Okay.
designate to make sure I'm properly, rejuvenating and all that good stuff. But I definitely look forward to doing it for sure.
Well,
Okay.
she looks at that and says, you know, Max, look here. Watch this,
Yeah.
Maximum Rising. What you
Can't find
do?
them. Oh, okay. I'm like, what comments did you find? Okay, okay. I see him
Oh,
now.
she's too religious for that. Look here. Take her straight to the very Bible that she reads and show her that Jesus used to have ancestors, right? Show her that. In the Bible, it tells you Jesus had ancestors. If you show her that, she won't think it's satanic. Because that's what I do to Christians. When they say, oh, well, that's what. No, it's not. Jesus had ancestors. Let me show you. Take her to the Bible and show how Jesus had ancestors too.
Yeah, go to the ancestors, Maximum Rising. Because look,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because look, we know how it is. Like elders ain't not all. Some are open, but most elders ain't really trying to hear nothing we got to say. For real, for real. And it's
Well,
not
they
even. I
don't.
don't even feel like it's a.
Just leave her.
Yeah, and I don't even feel like it's something where they like trying to be malicious towards us either. I just really feel like that's just how they are set in those ways, and it's like,
They just programmed and brainwashed to no avail.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it might not even be intentional, and I'm not. I'm saying that in all honesty and all, just from a third outside looking in, third party perspective, like because I've been around, and I know some, and I feel like we all have some in our families. So it's just like certain
Yeah.
people you just can't tell nothing, and I just look at it like, okay, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm just going, we just agree to disagree, but it's still love, but it's tough.
But sometimes you got to use the very thing that they are brainwashed with to show them what it means. Just like Moses had, he sacrificed goats in the Bible. He burnt frankincense and myrrh. It's no
Hmm.
different than what we do. So they don't realize we really do the same thing. That Bible is African folklore, plagiarism, lies, and the truth. And the truth part is that the
That's
part
what it
that
really
came from
boils down
Africa,
to, because that same story was shown right there on the walls of Kemet.
right?
Like Basar,
Exactly.
son Heru, or if you want to call them Horus, Isis, and Osiris, whatever.
Osiris.
But
Yep. Yeah.
either way it goes, that's where it really came from.
Right.
Period. It's written in
And the
stone.
son and the Jesus and the 12 disciples is really the sun god Ra and the 13 constellations.
Yes.
That's where they got that concept from. Yeah, that's another whole show. The
Yeah.
Bible only been in existence since 1492. Before that, we had the 2500 Hebrew text. Before that, we had Kemet.
And if you want to really get funky with it, the real Bible came from Ethiopia. So, and y'all
Right,
don't even have the Book of Enoch in yours. So that within itself,
right.
that's not the real one. And
But,
there's several other books.
to take it back, if you look on the walls of Kemet, we were always voodoo. Voodoo just means spirit. We were always spiritual. It was Akhenaten who actually taught you how to worship the sun god Ra, right? And the sun god Ra was a god, right? That was able to make sure that we were good. So that was really your first Christian. Before that, we didn't call on God. We didn't call on no God. We didn't call none of that. None of that. But unfortunately they are brainwashed and overall. So people like that, you just let them be, or you take them to the very thing called the Bible and show them.
Mm-hmm.
Show them how, there was ancestors in the Bible, how, Moses sacrificed goats too. What's so different? How they had holy oil. We have spiritual oils too. Same thing. We do the same shit.
Facts.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
in those extreme conditions, though, Maximum Rising, I would just go to the ancestors, like for real, because
Right.
that's a superpower that we have access to. Why not use it? We don't have to get in the ring and fight every fight, and every fight ain't work. It's not. It's not even smart to fight. What is the art of war? Sun Tzu says the best war, the best war won is the war not fought, or something to that effect. So it's
Right.
like sometimes we don't have to go to war, especially if we have a superpower like the ancestors that we can reach out to and ask for help, and they come through. I'm telling you, I know mine come through. What they be coming
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
It seems like impossible ways, but ain't nothing impossible. They make it happen. It comes through. So I'll
He's
let
right.
that.
But you're right, Risa Bemi. He
Oh,
needs to
I
go to
know.
the ancestors
Yeah.
because he just said I no longer talk to her due to her disrespecting. And don't feel like it's disrespecting. It's lack of knowledge. She's programmed. You got to
Yeah.
get her DDR, as I call it, deprogram, delete, and reprogram. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to be able to reprogram because she's older, right?
Right.
But what you can do is don't feel disrespected because she don't know. When she don't know, what do you expect? You know what I mean? Just let
Yeah.
her be. Like he said, go to the ancestors and tell on her. That's what
Yeah.
you do.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because I've never done it intentionally, but I'm about to start. Seriously, because I'm telling you, I've been doing it because I know my grandmother always around me. So when I'm saying that, that's why I was laughing when you said that earlier about snitching on your sister. I'm like, yo, I've been snitching. I've been dry snitching for a minute.
We talk
Because
on
I
her.
know
I'm
she
telling
always
you this.
around. That's one of the main ones that was talking with the message that you gave me when I sat my ass down. When you said the tribe was all riled up, like that. Like, once they gave me like, yo, you need to sit down and chill. You know, say that. You did. You ain't got to tell me twice. I want to do that. Like, yes. And then
So
I got
if they only know the power of the ancestors, you know what I mean? If you only know, y'all got to know the power of that. Even down when like my daughters and they get on my nerves and they're stressing me out and stuff like that. I'll tell on them. I'm telling on y'all. Ma, deal with your granddaughters, and then all of a sudden they'll be cool, right? So y'all got to understand, utilize your ancestors in everyday life.
Yeah. It's real. Like, you know, it's getting late, but I've shared this story before. My grandmother literally came through a person with a gift like Wunam before I knew who Wunam was, and to let me know that she had my dog that passed away. And I literally cried and laughed at the same time, which I didn't know was humanly possible, because it cut out, it literally eliminated the grief period for me. So the thing that you said that your client's going through with her child, which is totally different, a dog and a child. However, that dog was almost like a child for me, because at the time, I never had a relationship with anybody, not any person, you know what I'm saying, let alone, you know, an animal. So it was like, that was a different dynamic for me. So I was crushed, you know what I'm saying, when he because that was my dude, bro. Like that was my ace.
Yeah, that was
like,
your best friend.
Like for real. Like that joker was with me through some times, boy. The great end. So it was like, so she knew how hurt I was. And that's, like I said, that's the power of the ancestors. Like, she knew how deeply that saddened me. And, you know what I'm saying, like, really was a problem for me. But so she wanted to make sure that I didn't stay in that state, because she knew that could have went left. So she was like, let me let this boy know that dog good. You know what I'm saying? And when she did that, she knew I was straight. I bounced right back. Look, I'm good. Let's go. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's chilling with her. She like, yo, your baby is safe with me. She came to another sister that had a gift like yours and said, she wanted to let me know that my baby is safe with her. And I was like, yo. And so I was good. But that's just, and she's done it multiple times. She's done it, you know, she's come in family members' dreams, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we don't leave. We just transition and transform.
It's transition.
That's it.
Like, remember, it's from birth to death and death to life, y'all.
I let them ancestors, family. Trust them, believe, but they're going to come through for you.
And anybody who's dealing with any tradition, it's always your ancestors first. I don't care if you're dealing with the Orisas or not. Most people are. Call on your Egungun and your ancestors first.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I.e., that's why I had to pull them out the club tonight, man. Because I know they always here. So, yeah, with that, man, I always give gratitude and thanks, Wunam. I definitely look forward to doing that past life. My personal one and the show. Like, I can't wait to get into that. That's going to be dope, man. So, and actually, as a matter of fact, it's officially happy birthday now, because it's 12:09. So, happy birthday to you. And to the honorable El Haj Malik El Shabazz, man. You know, we definitely give honor and praise. Yeah, man. Happy birthday to both of y'all. So, I give gratitude and thanks again. If Tribe, I appreciate y'all, all the love and support. We'll be back multiple times this week. Definitely Friday with the big one, but we got something bubbling for midweek as well. So I'll see y'all soon. And anything last you want to share with the family before we get out of here? I know you're
y'all make sure you call on your ancestors and have gratitude for them, and thank them every day for walking with you and allowing you to wake up in the morning and get home safely and go out safely, and call them for your family too. I do it every morning before I go to sleep. You know, call on the ancestors to guide my family, let them get to their journey safely, their destination safely, and home safely. Do it every day, because we're in a chaotic mess right now, and there's a lot going on out in the world. So make sure y'all just embrace the energy of your ancestors, okay?
Yeah.
It don't matter if you don't know your ancestors. It's okay. It don't matter.
I was gonna bring her up too. Shout out to Jamie Downs. Shout out to Sacktown. She's Sacktown, California family out there. But call on them, because listen, Wunam can attest to this. And I come out and say it. She literally has introduced me to one of my ancestors I didn't know anything about all of my life. She literally has. Not only has she introduced me to him, but he seems to be, like, which is nuts, the most active ancestors as of late.
That's
when he comes to holler at me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm telling you now, I am a literal testimony to There's no such thing as you don't know them, because trust me, you talk to them and tell them you want to know them, they're gonna come through, because it happened with me. And so, you know, you have access to that, like you do within yourself, and hell, you can highlight either one of us, because we go to the oracle. We're gonna give you whatever they got for you, regardless of, you know what I'm saying, like, because there's nothing that's unknowable. When you have access to an oracle, there's nothing that's unknowable. And hell, you got some people who have a gift who are an oracle, like Wunam, who she don't need no tools, you know, to go to. So yeah, we got you, family. But go to them.
Thank you for the birthday wishes too, y'all. I see you coming in the thing. Thank you.
All right. So yeah, I appreciate y'all, family. So yeah, we're gonna get up out of here. So I appreciate you again, Wunam. I'll definitely be in touch to see when we can set up the next one. And for my that session, man, I'm looking forward to that, boy. You know, spark me all up with that.
Go look. I'm telling you, go look up the second dynasty, not Ramesses the second, but you were king and high priestess. Look up the energy at that time.
Yeah, I'm with it. Look, I'm gonna get at you for that one ASAP, expeditiously. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Okay.
All right, family. So we appreciate y'all, tribe. We'll see y'all on the next episode. We out. Peace.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé sàpò ìyàgbọ́, tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn. Ò bá padà sílé anítìjàkọ, ẹja lọ pé eégún mo sí ẹni gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́. Forsake not your ancestors, embrace your